So let's get into introducing our first player for today's finals. Owning in the bottom right hand corner here on Death Aura is the Red Terran. Playing for Brave Star Gaming, just clenching a reverse sweep series against creator. It is Dream.
And the sexy man on the top left. He's the blue Zerg player playing for Afrika Freaks, also known as Dongray Gu. He is the DRG.
He doesn't really want to play a slow game. He wants to be swift. Spawning pool first. Still no hatchery.
Yeah, usually, when Zergs go for the early hatch, or not the early hatch, the early spawning pool, usually they just want to send some lings across the map to get the cancel on the command center. But with the assimilator, yeah, with the gas along that, I think this is more committed. It's not just a cancel, but possibly maybe game ending. Although if Dream just walls off on the ramp, he should be fine. I think it's just a couple of links not committed, but yeah, it's gonna be with link speed for sure.
Like, even just forcing a cancel out of this command center is just such a huge thing that if he manages to do so, I doubt he will do that, because just the Reaper existing will make it very hard. But if he manages to do that, like, I will go as far to say it's game over. Yeah, okay. Immediate cancel. He sees the Zerglings making their way through, immediately cancels their command center, walling off, and the DRG is gonna back off. Alright, that's not what I meant by forcing the cancel, like he's just gonna start it again in the main. What I meant is just killing the SCV and just delaying it by much more. This is not gonna be a very much delayed command center. It's gonna be delayed by quite a while, but the DRG delayed his own stuff as well. So let's call it a reset.
Ooh, just barely getting that Reaper there. You know what? At the very least, he didn't commit to so many lings, so
yeah,
that's kind of the saving grace there. He does have
it
his...
was very well calculated, actually.
Yeah, for sure. So you see, kind of, this is the prime example of like both players kind of adapting and responding on the fly. Dream, of course, scouting that early link move out, just immediately canceled his CC. Knew he was gonna have to cancel that, and then of course wall up immediately. DRG noticed that, sees that the Reaper is stayed at home, gonna go ahead and just not commit too much links to the attack, and we'll just go ahead and transition into a macro game.
And it's a pretty swift transition for both players. Really not missing any step. Especially DRG getting a very quick fur base, just right on time. He's gonna be slow on the queens, mostly. Still has 2, which is basically what you need in the beginning of the game. While Dream is gonna just have his Hellions eat a little tad later, but still gonna pretty much eat on time. Like, when I said the game has reset, I really meant it. Like, this is not looking any different from a game in which DRG could have started Hachka's pool. It doesn't really look any different at all.
Yeah. But we do see that the Hellions are out and about. I believe Dream should be moving out once he gets those 4 Hell. Oh, actually, you know what? He does have a couple of Hellions already on to the third base here. Let's see if he can catch a few drones here. But there are 3 queens here to defend. Actually, 4 queens. So not going to be able to get anything done here.
Yeah, and I'm very impressed by DRG having such a clean creep spread as well. Like, this early in the game, it's already kind of approaching to the inhibitor zones in the middle. Like, just a couple more creep tumors and he will be there. And he has enough queens to actually defend those. So Dream is gonna just add his Fur Command Center, while DRG is just gonna get lair, pretty early lair, to be honest, and his Baneliness up into action. That's a lot of aliens though. Still gonna get a little bit of a interesting strike forward, and now it's gonna be Hellbats and the Viking with that as well. It's gonna be 6 queens ready to defend against this, finding themselves a little bit in a off spot, I'd say, a little bit too clamped together against these Hellbats. A couple of them are definitely going to fall. One of them has been just killed. Other one will be transfused back to full health, but 2 of them are so bruised right now, not really going to be focused down. And in the end, it looks like Dream finally manages to get on top of them, focuses them down. But these, I feel like he didn't deal enough damage.
Yeah,
3 queens are alright, but with 3 hatcheries, it just takes 50 seconds to replace them. Actually less, I feel like it's 4k and something.
Let's take a look here. I guess 1,300, 1.3k minerals lost here for Dream, 1.8k for DRG, but again the gas loss for Dream is a bit more, 225 to 49. I mean, I think, you know, DRG is okay with losing queens to, because, you know, eventually queens are just mineral units.
It didn't lose too many.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if 2 more queens would have died there, I would have called it a good move by Dream. But in the end, losing only 3, having still 3 alive, while the other hatcheries are still producing them. Like, right now he's back at 6 queens. So, really, no harm taken, mostly. With his Spire incoming, it's gonna be kind of hard for Dream to really deal with this. Like, in any significant way. I don't mean like literally losing to the mutas, but more like being able to regain map control in the next few minutes. I feel like that is something Dream cannot do easily.
Yeah. Now, what Dream does have going for him is that he does have 2 medevacs on both left and the top side.
Yep.
With the Widow Mines, filled with Widow Mines. So if he can get some nice shot, if he can distract DRG and then drop at the same time, get a bunch of drones, you know, that could be a pretty, you know, kind of momentum changing shift here. And it looks like Dream is going to go ahead and try to poke in at the front at the same time.
Oh no, that is a huge mistake from Dream. Just gonna lose these Widow Mines. Oh my god, that's a good shot though. Yeah, alright. In the end, Dream manages to find a good shot. Get 1 meter for free. Still gonna lose the Medivac, still gonna lose all Widow Mines but 1, which actually survives, interestingly enough, thanks to the armory already being there. And keeping the creep at bay is also going to be important, but right now there are a bunch of meters already, and DRG, with this amount of map control, is just gonna pump out a lot of drones. And look at the worker count, which is actually going to rise. Like, that is a lot of workers.
Yeah, as you can see in the income graph, just heavily favoring the Zerg player. So, as we said earlier, that, you know, that Hellbat timing just didn't quite do enough, didn't kill a lot of drones. So, and that led to DRG being able to drone up right after that, and also tech into Mutalisk as well. And now he's got, let's see, how many Mutalisks does he have? 16 Mutalisks. That is a significant amount.
And +1 is just about to kick in as well. That is like, every single Muta upgrade is so important. Once it gets to +2 air attack, it just gets almost out of control, to be honest. Like, over here, like, we have a 4, and it just deals so much damage to the Mutas, as you've seen. But DRG will have a lot of time to transition into the most important units, which are going to be, of course, the Hive Tech stuff with Infestation Pip being dropped down, and of course a lot of Zerglings and possibly Banelings making it into the main army of DRG very soon.
Alright, another Widow Mine drop coming here into the Zerg space. But once again, DRG is on top of it. Got so much great vision with these Overlord spread. We'll be able to respond in time and lose very minimal amounts.
Creep tumors just a little bit everywhere. Hive perfectly on time as well. Like, 10-minute Hive is possibly the best you can get. Like, it's not too late, it's not too early, it's just perfect at the right moment. +2 is halfway through. And he's not been losing mutas throughout the game. Like, how many mutas did he lose? One to that Widowmine shot we had early on. So, he can afford to lose some now. But I wouldn't really like him to just go for an engagement before having +2. Once he has +2, he has enough Banelings, he has enough Zerglings, he can take some great fights if he manages to find its way through. Like right now, catching these units a little bit in the open is gonna be very easy cleanup for the mutas. Imaging having +2 at that stage will be even better. Widowmine drop is once more gonna be stopped in the top right, and these mutas are really finding so much map control so easily, with Dream not really being able to bite back in any significant way.
Oh man, Hive is almost done. That's gonna give DRG access to go for that Ultralist. I would assume that he wants to go for Ultralist. But you know what? I'm looking at the upgrades and it seems like 2-2 is finishing up for Dream. So there's gonna be a momentary, I guess a temporary time where it's gonna be ahead 2-2 to 1-1. That could be the moment where Dream can take advantage of that upgrade lead. And
but it's still going to be +2 mutas. +3 just started. That's going to be +3 mutas in 2 minutes. That is a lot of damage. Those flip-flops can back, really.
Yeah, that would definitely even up the upgrade for the Zerg. But yeah, it looks like Dream is gonna head for attack. Oh wow, going up a ramp.
Yeah, that is not good. That is a little bit rough for DRG. Of course, he can afford this. But losing that those crypt tumors for free doesn't really look that great. Now these are +2 mutas that just deal so much damage. And they're causing a little bit of a ruckus here in the natural of Dream. Dream not really finding a good way to deal with those mutas. And it looks like a lot of SCVs are gonna lose their lives for this. DRG is still not risking, which is interesting. Like right now, he has +2. Look at how great these mutas can fight. Meanwhile, on the top right, Banelings and Zerglings trying to find their best engagement as possible, but Thor's tanking so much damage. It looks like in the end, Dream is gonna be able to bite back a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean killing an Archer, which is a significant damage. Still, the muta count is still pretty high. He lost 4 mutas throughout this whole game. He's still getting damage. And Dream getting 1 archery, 8 drones doesn't really look enough.
Oh man, if you can get this command center here, that would be a nice pickoff. But he's still got to deal with the Thor army back at home, which it looks like
I feel like, yeah, he has enough stuff right now to deal with it. In the end, Medivacs are just gonna collect every single unit back and just get back home. And how did he lose only 8 mutas this game?
Oh man,
he's been constantly fighting on 2 different spots with Zerglings and Banelings on one side and mutas on the other, and he's been losing. Oh my god, he also smacks Thor. Now, like, this is the moment in the game in which Thors are supposed to just almost one-shot these mutas, because 3 of them, 4 of them actually, get a shot, like 10 mutas die. And DRG is just not caring. He has +3 now. Look at the damage they can deal so quickly. That's so many of them. They just insta-shot these missile turrets. They don't even blink an eye. And now production for Dream is gonna be destroyed so quickly. This is disgusting damage being dealt by DRG. And finally, a couple mutas are gonna fall to Widowmines and Marines alike. But DRG is gonna have Ultras out in a little while. Dream doesn't really have answers at the ready. +3, don't misunderstand me. Like, this upgrade advantage is gonna be pretty huge, but it's not gonna be there for a lot of time.
Yeah, it looks like DRG is gonna go ahead and try to rely on these Banelings to get some nice connections, because you know, as long as you get some nice splash damage, then yeah, even though the ground army is 3-3 for the Terran, you know, you could still at least get some nice trades there. But what's really scary for DRG is that all his upgrades are finishing up, and he still has this flock of Mutalisks that has +3 weapons attack.
It looks like Dream is gonna concentrate all of his efforts right here in the top right. There are a bunch of Marines and Thors back home to deal with the Mutas, but these +3 Mutas can really easily find some weak spots in the army of Dream if he decides to go a little bit too forward. Dream is gonna decide for the better, just stay defensively put for the time being, not gonna commit to that top right at all. He has changed his mind. And now a lot of Banelings are in production. That is a kind of a good time to strike. Mutas are gonna kind of try to clutch on the right side, on the left side, not really gonna find any damage. Now it's time for the Ultras to actually do something. And once more, DRG kind of doesn't manage to find a good surrounding. He's gonna be concentrating all of these Banelings in the main side, and my god, that was a thing of beauty for Dream. Killing so many Banelings cleanly, but there's still so much Zerg happening left and right, and the Mutas back home dealing so much damage. DRG striking in two different sides at once, and Dream just not quite able to break past the main army of the Zerg player. Mutas still clumped up, still killing Marine SCVs, still killing bases, and now DRG is gonna concentrate the rest of his efforts over here. Banelings come rolling through, finding the Marines. All of them kind of just instantly explode, forcing the load up into the medevacs, getting away from there. Mutas getting even more damage. And right now it's looking very rough for the Terran.
Yeah, all his economy has been shuffled, and now he is pretty much trying to reestablish his Southside base. About 44 workers to 79 workers. Oh boy, DRG is gonna be pretty much in happy at the position he finds himself in. He's got so much bases. He still needs a little bit of work on the creep, but I mean, I think he's fine. He can, he does have the map control with the Lings and the Mutalisks.
Yeah. Creep spread has not been going that great in the last few stages of the game. Like, he had a huge creep spread a little while ago. Right now he's kind of struggling a little bit, but he's still keeping full control of the, like, imaginary alpha line in the middle of the map. Of course, having these Mutas ready to shock for damage is kind of helping. Now that he's maxed out again, just kind of waiting for Dream to make a little bit of a misstep while building a bank back home.
Oh man, another snipe there on the medevac drop.
Yeah.
Once again, DRG with the great overload spread. Actually, he has, funnily enough, he has 3 random one at the bottom left, just chilling out. No problem.
Another Widowmine drop kind of trying to happen. Banelings and Zerglings helping deflect that as clean as possible. Still one Widowmine in the mineral line ready to kind of deal some damage. But the army of Dream is not really ready to deal with the one of DRG. 28 Banelings are coming. Huge Widowmine shot actually for Dream. That's a little bit too many Banelings that for no reason. But the Mutas in the bottom left finding again some good spots to actually strike and force part of the army of Dream back home, which is right now the most important thing to do, since he can a little bit more easily build up a bank compared to his opponent. Having 54 Banelings, of course, kind of helps.
Yeah, that's a lot of Banelings. But I feel like DRG gotta be careful not to just rely heavily on these Mutalisks, these Banelings. He's gotta add in some Ultralisks. It looks like he did finally add in a couple more Ultralisks. And here we go, Banelings rolling in, but there's a lot of Liberators here.
Oh, there's still a lot of Banelings though. Like, not even half of them were used to deal with this. Right now, the Mutas can get on top of the Liberators while the rest of the army clashes on top of the Marines. That's a lot of Banelings dead, but that's also a lot of Bio dead. The Ultras are still there, up and standing in the top right. Dream is trying to strike back to do something. Ultras out of creep, still mauling the army of Dream, it looks like. Finally finding some good spots to deal damage while the Mutas clean up everything else. This is looking to be GG very soon, because Dream wasn't quite able, even with this double medevac drop, to deal as much damage as DRG has dealt in so little time. Mutas still up and standing. Still a lot of overloads. Kind of trying to capture the attention of Dream. There's a huge supply advantage for the Zerg player. And here comes the GG. DRG is gonna take game number 1 of this series with a super convincing Mutaline Bane game.
Yeah, I think that is one of the great arsenal in the DRG's game, being able to micro the Ling, Baneling, the Mutalisk. I mean, because Mutalisk, they require a lot of babysitting.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure that you keep your eye out on that. Make sure they don't, get intercepted with a bunch of Marines or, random Widowmine placements. So, yeah, DRG just kind of just showing off the incredible micro that he has.
Dream kind of tried to be proactive on the map, but every single attempt of actually doing something to slow down DRG kind of never worked. It was never able to lower the amount of mutas significantly, never able to snipe enough ultras to break through, never able to force enough Baneling's bad connections to actually have a big part of his army surviving. Every single risk that DRG took was super calculated, and even taking not really super efficient trades always worked out in his favor because he had another ace up his sleeve, and Dream just didn't. Up his sleeve, of course.
Or up his pants, however you like it.
Well, new game, new story, but still, the score is not smiling upon the players spawning in the bottom right hand corner. Playing for Brave Star Gaming, lagging 1 point behind in his best of 7 finals. It is a Red Terran. It is Dream. Did I say Red Terran twice?
Well, you know what? Sometimes people need a little bit of reminder of what color people are and what race they are.
Gotta help those daltonic viewers, right?
Or the colorblind viewers too. But anyhow, here in the top left corner of the map is the blue Zerg player representing Afrika Freaks. Give it up for DRG.
No weird early spawning pools shenanigans, it looks like, this time for DRG. Just a kind of a standard Ashkas pool. Didn't end up really doing much in the first game, so...
Yeah, but didn't also cost him too much as well, so kind of
yeah,
broke even at the after all that. But yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a pretty normal game here. And actually, you know what, these Lings trying to hide a few of them here, not showing that this is gonna be. Ooh.
I mean,
okay, maybe we might actually get a Ling flood here, because that.
I mean, he's still getting gas though. Why is he getting gas if he wants to go for that? I don't think we're gonna see a Link flood.
Well, at least a couple to maybe try to get on top of that CC, but that natural CC is almost done, so definitely not going to be able to cancel that.
No, absolutely not.
Oh wait,
submarine show up.
Do you think? Oh wait, never mind. I was thinking about maybe a Roach follow up with a Ling flood as well. I'm like, but he's not mining too much gas, right? So probably not.
Not really. He's gonna make just the right amount of Zerglings. It doesn't really feel like he's just gonna double it down too much. But then again, he's not really even taking a third. So I'm kind of torn, to be honest. It could very much be one of the other. Like, it's kind of a hard to read scenario. Okay, it's going to take the third base now. That's a very late third base, to be honest. But it doesn't really look like it's very much intentional.
This is so funny.
He is very obnoxious. Finally, a queen comes.
Oh man, look at that blood, that Reaper blood smeared over the pavement there.
Yeah, that is what happens. And Reaper die. Dream is getting suspiciously early armory, which is really pointing me towards a Hellbat timing again. She looks like he's a cup of tea. Looks like.
Yeah, he attempted it that last game, right? So
Yep.
he's gonna go ahead and try that once again. Hopefully this time around goes better for him, because the last time he tried and attempted, didn't really get too much done. Didn't get any major drone kills. Got like only 3 queens or so.
It's gonna be less stuff this time for DRG though. It was significantly slowed down by the Reaper. Not taking the firm means less queens, means less Zerglings, means less everything. And now it's how many queens? 4 queens. I think he doesn't have a single transfuse. This time it's looking kind of scary, to be honest. And Dream is gonna commit. Knows there's not much, but Dream also has less compared to last game. So it's a little bit of a worse scenario for both players, so it doesn't really matter. It looks like DRG is gonna be having a very clean surround. Queens are just not falling. Of course, Zerglings cannot really fight with that. One of the queens, the most bruised one, is gonna use the transfuse to save the other. It's still a 1 queen kill right now. 2 is gonna fall. The third one is gonna follow. Actually, the damage is kind of rising up. It looks like Dream may have made a dent. Still the critical number, the 3 queens surviving, just enough. Like, even killing 1 more would have justified this a little bit more. And instead, we find ourselves kind of in the same spot as the game before, with both players kind of being in a slightly worse spot. But Dream is gonna follow it up with a Banshee Cloak play, which may or may not be some good damage.
Oh, nice little evolution chamber block there. Does draw
clean.
Yeah, that was sick. Gotta be honest.
That was very. There was something I wish I would have, like the coldness to do that.
It's like the mic drop moment or something.
Yeah. Alright, they're about to be finished. I'm kind of expecting another Spire. That's a lot of gas being taken. It's gonna be a bunch of upgrades. We'll start it at once. There's still enough resources for, oh my god, 26 Zerglings. Like, these 4 SCVs should have never died, to be honest. Dream not really on top of its defensive maneuvers, it looks like. 2 Spine Crawlers are also pointing towards a kind of aggressive game kind of from DRG. Doesn't really want to leave units back home to defend. He wants to have a user static defense, but he's not adding a Spire. Oh, Lane's kind of getting on top of everything, but Widowmines, of course, are just gonna make their lives miserable. DRG, what are you doing, man? This looks weird.
I think he's thinking like Christmas is early or something. Just donating generously to a Dream right now. And now Dream all of a sudden has a supply lead, even workers. And when you're even workers with the Zerg, that's never a good thing for the Zerg, because, you know, there's those things called Mr. Mew, you know?
He's gonna be ahead in upgrades, but doesn't really, like, Zerglings and Banelings need something else to work. Like, they can work on themselves if you play a defensive game, which is not what DRG is doing. Like, of course he has to do it right now because he's kind of behind. But you cannot just go that route, like just sending Zerglings and Banelings through the map to try and deal damage without having some kind of support unit. Either being Mutas or Hydras or even Roaches if you want to do it earlier. But right now Dream just has some free time clearing creep. Little uncontestedly. Banelings, of course, gonna get a connection on top of the L, but not even really worth. The Hydra then is gonna be late. This is a good surround with the Banelings, but this is a... like, it looks kind of calculated for Dream. Like, doesn't really mind losing those elements too much. And yeah, that's 7 drones killed with a Winnowman drop. It's kind of great.
Yeah, Dream is... Oh, that wouldn't mind getting a huge bailing hit.
Oh my. Yeah, things are getting worse and worse for DRG by the second. Having those Hydras out very soon is going to be very important for him.
Yeah, he's really gonna have to kind of rely on lane bailing Hydralisk to possibly transition into Lurkers. I think Lurkers could be his kind of a saving grace, as he is kind of quite behind right now. But can he buy enough time, though, to get that tech out? That's a question.
That's all in the hands of Dream, really. It depends how much he is able to actually strike. Like, how much damage can he do? Like, these Widowmine drops are kind of dealing damage. But I would like him to focus his efforts a little bit more for some kind of a decisive attack. Right now, the DRG is finally finding some biting back damage. Looks like a lot of Zerglings and Balins are just making their way through the map. This looks kind of a linear almost from the Zer player, but he's finding significant damage. That's a lot of Balins in the middle line. 29 workers. Alright, Dream just doesn't really have a great time defending against DRG because this is crazy damage.
Oh my goodness.
That's just Zerglings and Banelings, and that's exactly the opposite of how this will usually work. I said that Zerglings and Banelings need support units, and DRG just answered me and said, "Oh, you think so? Cute."
Yeah, I think what really helped is that his Lings and Banelings were on two upgrades, which means, compared to the 1-1 of Terran, with the two, the two weapons upgrade on the Banelings is significant because that means that it only requires one Baneling hit to kill those Marines and those SCVs.
And just surviving so much punishment as well.
Yeah, DRG just managing to find that opening, and wow, I gotta admit I'm pretty surprised that DRG was able to manage to pull that because it looks so good for Dream.
Yeah, that was kind of a once in a lifetime kind of opportunity, and he just seized it, which is. I started like this discuss today saying that I really find opportunistic players to be kind of the best players in StarCraft 2. They're able to seize that one chance they have to get the victory, and DRG is a really good example of those kind of players. He's not the player who will try to just slowly whittle down, even if he did it in the first game of this series. He doesn't usually do that. He's just that kind of player who just goes for one decisive maneuver as soon as you make a mistake. And it was an impressive victory in a game that was absolutely Dreams to lose.
Absolutely.
And getting into game number 3, here on Jagannatha, we're in the bottom left hand corner while the Terran player is currently spawning. Brave Star Gaming, struggling to find a foothold in this series, it looks like. But he did so in the last series as well, and we know how it ended. Let's see if he's able to do it again. It is 3.
Guys spawning here at the top right corner of the map. Going for the same opener once again. That early pull. Can he make this work once more? He is 1 game away from winning 3 straight. Can he do it? It is from a Freak of Freaks at DRG.
And he's gonna go for the spawning pool first again. So,
Yeah, it has worked out twice in the previous 2 games. So might as well do it, right? I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It's gonna be 8 Zerglings and he's gonna stop, I think. I don't see him making more than 8.
Oh, the SCV just gonna catch a glimpse of those links moving out.
Or maybe not. I don't think Dream was looking at it. He's gonna see that he's a very late hatchery though. And he's just gonna immediately stop making the command center to start making the bunker. He's gonna send another SCV down the ramp. But the Zerglings are just kind of messing around, just trying to dodge the Reaper. And Link speed is not done yet, so the Reaper is just gonna find some free real estate right now.
But these 4 Lings, can they get the bunker? I think the bunker's just finishing
There's
just
a Marine,
in time.
there's Marine, and they're very slow. Slow
man.
Zerglings are quite possibly the worst unit in the game.
I have no idea what that says. If anyone can translate, please do in the chat.
I feel like Dream was very able to just not overreact to this.
Yeah, I mean, considering that DRG invested it, the early pool, the early simulator, getting that early speed, there's a lot to, commit to for absolutely no damage at all.
Yup. And right now, like DRG has to take this third archery, and it is not even, I won't even go as far to call it as early third archery because of everything that has happened up to this spot. While Dream is kind of getting every single piece of a very aggressive puzzle, which is a very early steam, a bunch of aliens ready to go out on the map, and I feel like this is going to be some kind of early steam timing, because getting the steam so early just has to have a meaning.
Well, he doesn't have any second or third barracks, so might just be yet. Yeah. I mean, you would imagine that he would have it by now, but I think might be just an armory. Once again, going for that hellbat timing. It seems like hasn't really worked out though. I'm not sure why he's going for that once again. It seems like DRG has a grasp on how to defend against it.
This Roach Warren is gonna be a very interesting addition to how the series has gone this far. Roach Warren is not a structure you take that often in this matchup, so I'm always interested to see how Zerg players try to play Roach Warren into Terran. It is not taken very often in this series for very obvious reasons. Roaches get countered so hard by so many basic units of a Terran army, but they can also kind of surprise you because you're not actually accustomed to see Zerg players going for those kind of aggressive units early on, especially if you go in high numbers. And DRG has not been making drones for quite a while.
Yeah, there was a really money scandal by Dream. Does scout the Roach Warren, and he's going to go ahead and already, you see that, throwing down a bunch of bunkers while going for a drop of Hellions that has not yet been spotted. I've been praising DRG's Overlord spread, but this time around, not going to have that Overlord on the right side. That's going to be critical as a bunch of drones being shot down and barbecued by Dream.
Yeah, and just as he does that, DRG sends a bunch of Zerglings back home to defend against this. These Roaches don't feel like they're high enough in numbers. Hellbats are not gonna help a bunch against this, and there is no tank yet. First tank is gonna head out, and there's a Banshee. That's kind of a saving grace for Dream, because these Banshees just looking to just kill Ravagers, completely uncontested. Here comes the Zerglings at last. But it already feels like it's too late. DRG kind of trying to break through desperately, but it's not enough. Dream, solid defensive game. Doesn't take much for him to get the foothold in this series. It's gonna be a 2-1 advantage for DRG, but Dream has made a statement right here. Not gonna fall that easy, my friend.
Yeah, that would have been a tall order to be down 0-3 and win 4 straight against someone by the likes of DRG. I mean, he is one hell of a player. There's a reason why he's been getting top 4, top 8 in GSL the past few seasons. That is not something you want to put yourself in the hole, that deep of a hole. So really a big sigh of relief going to get his first points on the scoreboard and going to game number 4 being down 1-2 instead of being down 0-3.
Well, if anything, Dream looks like to play much better when he's behind 2 points in a series. Because second time in a row, and I don't know, momentum can be a crazy thing in StarCraft 2 series. And you know what? If Dream is able to ride that momentum wave, who knows what can happen here in this 4th game of the series. And talking about it, let's introduce the players here on Pillars of Gold. Spawning in the bottom left hand corner. This beautiful map is a Red Terror player playing for Brave Star Gaming, hailing from Korea. It is Dream.
And spawning here at the top right from Afrika Freaks. Give it up for DRG.
Who's actually going to go for the spawning pool first again. Collecting quite a lot of gas. Actually adding a second gas? No, that's a just extracted trick. Yeah, okay.
Oh man, I was about to say, he's going YOLO it.
Nah. That's too much. You can't do that. You're not allowed. I'm curious to see if Dream plays more cautiously this game, or if he's gonna try to go for a similar thing as he did in the last game. Of course, last game was in Jagan Alpha. That's a big map. You're not supposed to take too many defensive measures, because you just kind of defend yourself by just macroing up and forcing your opponent to do something aggressive. Pillars of Gold is still a huge map, not as big though. I feel like rush distance is like 6 to 10 seconds faster. And there's also this little weird window of time in which the SCV just gets past the 4 Zerglings. The 4 Zerglings are already halfway through the map. And once again, Dream sees that that's a very late hatchery in the natural.
Yeah, he should be
Bunker.
turning his Reaper right about now, right under the nose of the Overlord.
I think he's just actively looking for the Zerglings instead, which is much better, to be honest. Not gonna find them though, and of course that Overlord made a huge impact in this little interaction.
Yeah, but you know what? Dream learning how to adjust once again. He did it against a creator. Now he's doing it once again to DRG. Getting that early bunker, and now these speedlings not going to get any damage done once again.
It's gonna be just a reactor factory as well. Dream is playing absolutely standard. The only thing that's kind of off-putting is this bunker, which is not even that big of a commitment compared to DRG's commitment. But on the other hand, DRG is not really struggling behind in workers count too much. Like, it's 4 workers behind, but he's gonna catch up in a blink of an eye. He's gonna add up his third hatchery pretty much at what can be considered the normal timing. And the more I see DRG pull out this 16 pool, the more I feel like it's more like a play style in a way that he probably lost a lot against proxies in the past. Dream is a player who likes to proxy a lot, and he's just doing this out of, no, you're not gonna proxy me. The more I see this, the more I feel like this. It's just an anti-proxy measure, and we've just been overestimating the aggressive prowess of DRG.
Well, I think it's looking very much like possibly the same Hellion Hellbat timing once again. This time around he's getting a Viking, which I'm sure he's gonna make a medevac after this. And actually, no, wait, never mind. He's not making an armory.
Nope. This feels a lot like a 2017 CVT. Oh, here comes the armory.
Okay.
Never mind.
Never mind. I guess he was just timing it up with a medevac, but
Yeah.
yeah.
DRG is gonna try to put some damage on top of those aliens. Probably knows this is going to happen again. Probably knows he's kind of weak to this when he wants to go for the anti-proxy start.
No, it's
On
very...
the other end, he's still gonna have 6 queens. So
Yeah, I mean, DRG, once you get a good enough amount of queens, like we've seen him micro it so well that this suffered barely any damage. Maybe losing 3 queens at the very end, but yeah, I think he should be fine, especially with the faster Baneling Nest. He's getting the 4 bangs right now before the attack commences, so he should be
that's a lot of elements.
really well prepared.
Is Dream's for command center a little bit earlier than usual as well? I feel like it is.
Yeah, I think so too.
Alright, the Banelings are kind of struggling to find good connections. It looks like there's gonna be a good spread, but that's even better. Banelings, manual explosions. Oh my! DRG! Oh, what a beast! Just getting such a great engagement. How much did he lose? 1 queen? He didn't lose a single queen. Oh, that's kind of crazy.
Wow. Yeah, just so much better there. I mean, again, we had the early Baneling's Nest, made it immensely more easier to defend.
Yeah.
I mean, it was already easy to defend in the past, but yeah, this time even more.
Yeah, and it was looking like Dream had just this right spread of these Elbats, just spread out in this box at the right spot. And DRG just sent the Banelings just right in the middle, detonated them, and then just 3 Elbats instantly went into Red Elf. And it was kind of easy afterward to clear everything else. Just some good Baneling knowledge, just knowing exactly what the range in that precise moment was. And just getting very clean and good executions on those Elbats. Still, Dream not that much behind. This Spire though, this Spire play was kind of the bane of Dream in the first game of this series.
Yeah, we've seen how deadly DRG is with those Mutalisks, so if he can get enough Mutalisks out there and, I mean, get some nice, decent kills, get on top of the production buildings like he did last time, it could be pretty much the same story as it ended then and there. But another Widowmine drop here into the 3rd base, doesn't get anything done.
This 15 health Viking is...
Wow.
Oh, wow. I thought the Queens were in good position. I was very wrong.
Yeah, it seems like he was trying to evacuate the drones, but the Queens blocked the drones from getting out, and they clumped up. And unfortunately, the Widowmine was able to connect there. So losing 10 drones there. Now, it's not the end of the world because DRG actually has those Mutalisks out there. So if you can go fly across the map, and there's no turrets here on the natural or the main or even in the dirt. So, I mean, if he can get some nice SCV kills and get some 10 SCVs of his own, he can pretty much even the score.
And Dream is setting up another interesting Medivac right here. Just outside the boundaries of DRG's third base. Still, the Mutas are up now. And Mutas were such a huge pain for Dream in the first game of the series. Let's see if he manages to do again. Dream is gonna try to drop down over here. Quick reflexes from DRG. Not really gonna find much. There's a couple Mutas here right in position. Queens are just gonna bait those Widowmine shots. And it looks like almost no damage will be taken by the Zerg player. And so much will be dealt to the Widowmine and Medivac count for the Terran player. Still no Overseer with these Mutas, which can be kind of bad. One of them is in production right now. Oh no. Please don't forget those Mutas there. Alright.
Oh wow. There's one more Widowmine here at the natural. Let's see if it can get some nice connection. Oh, actually, there's targets on the Queen. Never mind.
Yeah, that was a beacon. I think he targeted on a drone that was just underneath the Queen in just a very bad spot overall. Still gonna force these Mutalisks back home for quite a while, but Infestation Pit is there, is coming. The Hive is gonna be just slightly later, the 10th minute mark. Dream has to find a window to strike in a little while, and he needs just a tad more damage to force the Mutas back home to fight the main army.
You know what? I'm actually liking Dream's position right now. He's got
Yeah,
4
me too.
bases to
Me too, me too.
4. He's got another Widow Mine drop coming onto the left side. Let's see if it could get any more damage done. And he's got the 1/1 upgrade versus only the 1 air upgrade. So yeah, I actually really like Dream's position.
Yeah, I feel like he's very much in a winning position, but he's not gonna be in this position for long if he doesn't just ride this wave right now. With this advantage he has right now, just kind of has to do something. He can't really afford to, like right now, losing these 4 Widow Mines and a Medivac just without doing much. Okay, like, of course, right now he's just killing creep tumors, he's keeping creep spread at bay. But there's a 5th base coming from DRG. He's currently at 94 workers. He's really recovering very fast. And now even slow Banelings are just actually getting the connections. +2 is about to kick in. Hive is about to be ready. It's gonna be probably a +3 Muda air attack. And that is gonna be very hard to deal with, as we've seen in the first game of the series.
Yeah, now the one thing that I don't like from DRG, or that I wish he could do better in or concentrate in, is the creep spread. It looks like he's finally starting to spread those creep tumors there as
Dream. Ooh, we don't mind drop. Okay, just 4 drones. Just. Oh, the Medivac is gonna fall though. Oh, another we don't mind drop. It's gonna kill the queen, which is interesting. But the main army is gonna clash right here on the right side. There's a bunch of spine crawlers at the ready, which is a good maneuver from DRG. It's gonna buy himself even more time. His slow Banelings, of course, not gonna get a lot of damage now. There's also quite a low number of them. So Dream is just gonna steam forward, get on top of everything. Right now, he's gonna be down to these Widow Mines to stop the Banelings, and it's exactly what is happening right now. Spine crawlers slowing down DRG by quite a bit. But these Mutas, can they do the trick? It's only 3 doors, and they are trying to deal a lot of damage. +2 has kicked in. These Mutas are really fighting back. But Dream, microing like a madman those doors, saving their lives, prompting another Widow Mine shot. DRG losing so much in such a little while. Widow Mines really the king of this army composition. Just getting so much damage. In the end, DRG just gonna barely survive after this huge trade-off. But man, 28 Mutas have died. 28.
oh my goodness.
That's very hard to recover from. While Dream is already maxed out again. He doesn't really even need to make doors again because Muta count is just very low right now. I feel like this is going to be GG very soon and we have a tight series probably. Dream just that great at playing series when behind. He's gonna steam forward on creep. Just gonna try to get in the 4th phase of DRG. Is he biting more than he can chew? It's just Mutas between him and victory. And these Widow Mines are certainly doing the trick. It looks like Mutas are gonna be zoned out once more. Dream ties the score. It's 2-2. And it's a wonderful, wonderful performance in this 4th game for the Terran player.
Man, Dream, the man of comebacks for some reason. Yeah, this is just... Oh, wow. Actually, I'm looking at the APM tab. 540 APM for DRG. That's nuts. But you know what? Dream only needed 324 to pull out the win. And all of a sudden, we have ourselves a series.
Yeah. We have ourselves a little bit of a best of 3 time, it looks like. Of course, not gonna just work like that. The momentum is just so much in favor of Dream. Everything it does is just kind of working. Like even that... Well, not everything it does, because that Hellbat timing was kind of a failure. The defense from DRG was super clean. But then again, it was just not enough. Like, Dream just able to outgrow. And yeah, DRG not really keeping track of about what Dream is doing right this series, in my opinion. Alright, It's game number 5. The score is tied right now. And all merits go to this incredible player in the bottom right hand corner of Romanticide. Playing for Brave Star Gaming. It's the Korean. It is Dream.
Man, spawning here at the top left corner of the map, guys. It is the blue Zerg player representing Afrika Freaks. Get it up for DRG.
Doesn't look like he's gonna go for that spawning pool again. Finally decided to go for a more standard route. Not scared of those proxies anymore. Not wanting to risk anything to do some early game damage. Arch first. Respectable decision.
Yeah, I think on this map it's a little bit harder to go for what he did in the previous few games. Only because, you know, there's really one pathway straight into the middle, through the middle to get to the Terran. If you're going to the other way, it's going to take a while. You know, you guys go. There's a lot of zigzagging that you got to go through. So I like this decision here for DRG just to go for a standard opening here compared to the previous games.
It's gonna be an interesting one here on Romanticide. So many good spots for the Terran player to actually get some good sieging, good timing attacks. But it's still kind of a fairly defensible map on free bases. We've been talking about it a little bit before. It is this kind of map that plays very differently in each matchup. But in the end, I hardly think that this can go to a very quick 6 game. I feel like this game is going to be probably almost decisive of the rest of the series, and it's probably going to be played pretty slowly by both players.
You know what? With the first 2 semifinals going to the last match, I wouldn't be surprised if this series actually went to the 7th game. It's like been the story of today.
Yeah, like players are kind of closing skills, so if both the semifinals were 3-2s, there's a significant chance the finals is also going to be a 4-3.
Yeah, very, very good chance, but we shall see. We shall see.
Yeah. DRG already taking an interesting pace. I don't know if he felt forced to take it or if he was wanting to take it. But that's very hard to defend. So unless you go for something aggressive, you're gonna find yourself in a bad spot. You can even double expand to take out the easier to defend third. But a well-placed tank siege just outside of this third is gonna make very quick work of DRG's defenses over there.
Yeah, it's gonna be imperative that he takes down that rocks as soon as he can. Once he does that, then okay, you know, things open up. He should be fine. But
still harder to defend, but you know, like of course it's harder to defend than a base in between 2 ramps in a very tiny place. Nothing is as easy to defend as a third base on this map.
Alright, so it's looking very much like the same Deja Vu build here from Dream with the Hellbat. But this time around, DRG will open up with a different build. So more economic build, more standard build. Let's see how he deals with this Hellbat. I mean, in theory, he should be able to deal with this pretty fine, especially since those queen count is actually wrapping up. He has got 3 more in the production tab, so plenty of queens to defend against this.
Yeah, I think we have kind of a replay of game number 2, which DRG is going for. There's this quick upgrade kind of build, getting the +1/+1 melee and carapace, trying to get to +2/+2 as quick as possible, and then just brute force through with a lot of Zerglings and Banelings, while Dream is attempting to slow down his opponent with some kind of Hellbat timing, as you were saying, just not really having enough, I feel like, this time as well. And if DRG has that freedom, getting all of those upgrades and getting a good route into the natural of Dream, this game can end as quickly as game 2 has ended on Submarine.
Alright. Looks like armor is about to be done. Hellbats has been transformed, and here we go.
That's already a pretty great concave coming from DRG. That's 7 queens, actually. That's a sizable amount. There's no Bailey Nest, of course. Zerglings are gonna try to find a way in just on top of the Viking mostly. And it doesn't really look like Dream is finding much damage. Of course, a bunch of queens are gonna die. But it's still gonna come down to having those 3 survive. That's a critical amount. It's gonna be down to 2 actually. Oh, down to 1. That's looking ugly for DRG. A little bit too ugly. Meanwhile, 6 SCVs have been killed by a run-by from DRG. But was it worth it? I highly doubt it. It's gonna be ahead in supply, but he saw 6 queens to this.
Yeah, this time around didn't have the Banelings to help support the defense. So I mean, but this time around,
so many Zerglings though.
Yeah, but look at that, 4 Hellbats. I just don't see these Lings getting any damage done. Oh, actually, you know what? Maybe if he can get some Banelings hit. I mean, granted, these are going to be slow Banelings, but at the very least, he should be able to at least kind of try to attempt to go into. Oh, actually.
Oh, looking rough. Oh, it's just gonna bring these Banelings past, and of course the Hellbats are gonna be cleared. But is it enough Zerglings? I really doubt it. Doesn't really look as clean as the game number 2, where he went for this +2/+2 as soon as the lair was done. This time he's gonna start it off with the Baneling speed a little bit quicker. Gonna try to take an engagement that I had some doubts about, and now I see why I had some doubts about. And DRG is gonna find himself once again a little bit behind. That happened again in game number 2, and then he just had a million Zerglings destroy Dream. This time Dream looks way more prepared.
Yeah, for sure. And looks like he's gonna go ahead and try to clear up some creep here. Meanwhile, he's also going for a Widowmine drop. But at the same time, DRG is going for a Ling counterattack. Doesn't get anything. Oh, that Widowmine cleans up the rest of these Lings. And at the same time, this Widowmine drop is going to go ahead and commence. Does DRG respond in time?
Oh, it looks like Dream is not going to commit at all. Yeah, that is not looking the cleanest game I've ever seen out of DRG, really. Just now adding a 4th phase and even completely saturating it. And with +2/+2, he's gonna add up 34 more Zerglings. Not making a dent past this wall at all and losing actually even more Zerglings to the Widowmine. I struggle so much to find how he can really deal damage. 3 drones are gonna fall back home to a Widowmine drop. He has a lot of army, but it's still Zerglings. +2/+2, yeah, sure. How many of them is gonna be? It's gonna be slightly more than 60. Maybe even 70. But just one well-placed Widowmine shot can do so much.
Alright, looks like Dream's gonna go ahead and start establishing his 4th base here. I mean, it's gonna be scary if Dream gets that 4th base up. That's gonna be plenty of gas to power through his upgrades and his production, but right now, DRG having some trouble transitioning. Oh, actually, never mind. Hold that thought. There is another Widowmine drop. Doesn't quite get as much done, but
not really, no.
I mean, good
but
attempt.
DRG is not really focused on defense right now. Like these are a lot of Zerglings and Banelings.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my God! That Widowmine!
Oh, that was a completely whiffed shot. The wall goes down, and that spells danger to Dream. Banelings rolling forward, just getting those Widowmines before they can do anything at all. That's a great shot, actually, for one of those Widowmines. Just at the last whisper. It looks like, in the end, Dream, this time, might be just enough to kind of deal with this amount of Zerglings. Still, Zerglings deal quite some significant damage. Much of the production of Dream is under fire. And striking on the other side with that medevac didn't kind of work for Dream. And I feel again the game has almost reset. I say almost because they're on the same work account. DRG's tech is not really that impressive, and Dream has a planetary fortress at the 4th. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I was about to say, like, this looked like very similar to the game in Submarine, but
Yeah.
this time around, Dream had better, better buildings, positionings.
And the map is also so much different.
Yeah, that too.
Of course, like, having a lot of Zerglings is gonna make Dream's attempt to strike and deal some damage very hard. But it's also gonna make very hard for DRG to really have something once the big guys come for Dream. Once he's maxed out, of course. Hive, Lurker Den, all pretty important tech structures for DRG are coming. The Dream is really growing very fast right now.
Attempted harass here on the right, or not the right side, the left side. Gonna go for another attack on the right side. There's actually nothing to spot. There's no overlords or link spot. Oh, actually, never mind. There is one link spotter. Really crucial link spotter to scout that.
Looks like a bunch of Marines and Marauders are gonna just be loaded up into the main. There is a part of the army of DRG to wait over here. The other one is stationed at the bottom left. And in all places, I really feel like DRG's army is not strong enough. Not quite, at least. The main army is gonna go into the main, just clear some of those units. It looks like Dream may have spread a little bit too thin, but he's still going to be 11 workers killed by this Widowmine drop, which was looking to be the real damage dealer of the push. Meanwhile, Zergling's still fighting Marines and Marauders at the bottom of the map, and it's gonna be a double expand accomplished for DRG. Very surprising.
He's definitely gonna need some more bases and get some economy rolling, because right now he is falling behind in the army supply. He needs something to stay afloat. And Dream still continuously putting on the pressure. This time around, no wing spotters, no overlord once again. This drop could actually be pretty significant.
Well, that's a lot of units that are about to be dropped, so yeah, definitely would be very significant. Snapping down the Hive or the Hydrogen is just gonna be probably game-ending damage for DRG, who's already struggling quite a lot. The Hydrogen is gonna go down, quite certainly. Widowmines are actually sieged up. Oh, Widowmine shots, not really gonna get some great connections. Medivacs are gonna be abducted, actually, by DRG. Dream losing quite a lot of units.
Yeah, but that
Really
opens up
fighting a little bit more.
Yeah, that opens up the middle though. Was able to siege up a tank, but Banelings will be able to roll in. They keep rolling, and they will get the majority of the Marines. So these Lings will be able to clean up these Marauders fairly soon. But more reinforcement heading across the middle of the map for Dream. Will he continue this push forward? Looks like he's going to go ahead and play it safe and just retreat for the time being.
It looks like Dream may have bitten a little bit more than he could chew. Just spreading his army too thin, just trying to hit probably the wrong possible spots. And DRG, with some good micro, was able to find himself once more in a nice position. That's not a winning position yet. Upgrades are even. He has a lot of workers, yes, but he doesn't really have a lot of Banelings. Or Lurkers, for what it's worth. Oh, abduct into the single Hydra. The main army of Dream is setting up in the middle, gonna take a few free shots on top of Queens. And DRG is kind of trying to maneuver in a significant way, sending a lot of Lurkers forward, actually almost out of creep. There's gonna be a huge engagement for the Zer player. Dream losing so much so quickly. Those Lurkers just not being dealt damage. Vipers helping a ton, of course. And the drop over here in the top side of the map is still dealing damage, as well as the one in the bottom left. A bunch of Banelings are making their way through. That's a huge loss by Oh,
Oh man. Did you just barely saving the hatchery at the top side?
wow.
And
That was clean.
yeah, that was clean. And all of a sudden, like the momentum, the couple of battles the past few couple of minutes has gone DRG's way, and now he's ahead 87 to 75 workers. He's got the lurker tech. I mean, does Stream even have anything to deal with the lurkers?
I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. He doesn't have
I really don't feel like he does. Like, of course the tanks are gonna outrange them, but it doesn't really matter when the Zerglings just get on top of everything. Are you lagging this bad as well?
Seems fine for me on my end, but
Alright, so it's on my end. Well, it doesn't matter. It just... Alright, a great engagement actually starts in the top right. Blinding Cloud going on top of the tank is gonna help a ton. And this planetary is going to be cancelled. Another huge victory for DRG. This game is turning out on his side so fast. And Dream just struggling to gain anything in every single fight. Not getting any key units, not getting any kind of victory, and just being down-traded, really.
yeah, I mean, he is trying to get the ghost out. He's getting the ghost cloak. I mean, the ghost energy upgrade, and trying to make sure that he has something to deal with these lurkers. But that's a lot of Zerg army.
Yeah, and right now DRG just kind of trying to brute force forward. And I feel like he has the numbers to do so. The tank's getting so much friendly fire. And DRG right now expanding in another 2 different points at once. Just getting everything at once. Just getting full control of the map. Forcing his opponent so much behind. This drop is going to be very important for Dream to find some foothold back in this game itself. But it doesn't really look like it's finding much. He finds a Viper. He's kind of great. He's gonna lose everything for that.
Oh, but that...
Not really.
Yeah, he pulls his whole he forced the Zerg to pull his whole army, and now he's got 2 quadrants of infantry units. We'll be able to take out 2 hatcheries. Oh boy. Yeah, that is really...
It is some really great damage. It doesn't really look like DRG is running out of bases from which he can mine. His income is still significantly higher than one of his opponents. And his army is just not really running things. These tanks are keeping Dream alive. These tanks are everything that stands between DRG and winning this game. He has them spread out in so many different places. Lurkers cannot really make their way past these ghosts. And DRG is just not finding aggressive fights yet. All the fights he took were very defensive. He won most of them, aside from one which was aggressive in the top right. But Dream is really struggling yet. Nukes are a very good comeback maneuver. Combat mechanic, mostly.
Oh yeah.
But he needs to have some good one. Right now, he needs them. He needs those ghosts to succeed.
I mean, that could be his trump card right now, but that's a lot of Banelings and a nice blinding clock going on top of the tanks. Nice tank spread, but those Vipers in combination with the Hydralisk gonna be able to...
That's on Gray's Knights, actually. The fight was not really going in favor of DRG after a while. The blinding clouds were kind of late to the party. The first 2 were good, were in time. Then just everything else just kind of fall apart a little bit. Now he's losing even Evan Jones back home. He's been replacing his army, but replacing Vipers is a whole different thing because they need time. They need time to spawn and they need time to consume energy. It's gonna be another double base knife for Dream. He's not really rich. He's not really ahead in army supply. He's not really finding enough damage to justify the losses he's taking. But he's still in this game.
Alright. Looks like yeah, DRG has got some nice little trades here. Does actually has about a 30 or so supply lead at this moment. A little bit of supply block, which he should be able to solve fairly easily, but here we go, another attack here on the south side.
There's not much defending over here for Dream. There's just a bunch of goals. Finally, the rest of the army is kind of catching up. These missile turrets are gonna go down. Lurker will see just before the Ghost Knights will go down on top of him, but there's still quite a sizable amount of ghosts and tanks alike. It looks like Dream may have to lose quite a little bit of stuff over here, but Lurkers are gonna be sniped down by these ghosts so quickly. The army supply of DRG is just melting right now. Dream still just barely surviving once again, taking so many losses, just a downgrade engagement again, but he's just not dying. It's just so sturdy.
Yeah, so resilient right now. But man, look at all those ghosts, so low in energy.
Yeah.
But they have really paid off and kept a Dream alive.
Really feels like this army of DRG is lacking a +3 missile attack to be able to just kill things just a tad faster. That's a bold fight taken by Dream. It looks like he's just have enough ghosts, which apparently is 14. Like, imagine a Banelin mine killing half of these ghosts. That sounds very tense right now. So much can go wrong so fast for Dream. Meanwhile, DRG is gonna hit in the top right. It looks like this planetary fortress is gonna go down very fast. Of course, these are the Adrenal Glands lurklings, and those are plus 2 lurkers. They tend to kill stuff pretty fast. There's gonna be another base sniped on the side of Dream. Still quite ahead in supply is DRG. Still quite unable to break his opponent.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
just been the lane motive of the last 10 minutes or so.
I know, right? I mean, Dream is just hanging on after on. Losing that top base though is kind of it's hurtful. I mean,
Yeah.
but he at least establishes the middle. So at the very least, he has a base to mine off of it. As long as he can survive, you know, he can possibly push it to a situation where, you know, both players are mined out, and there's still that bottom base, the 6 o'clock base that's still yet to be taken. But DRG needs to, or rather Dream needs to establish this middle base first.
Yeah, it's really going into this huge point of contention. This center base and the top right one being the most contended ones. It looks like DRG is gonna steal the top right base, but right now the Dream is establishing another base, this one with the Reach Vespene Geyser. This one is way harder to break compared to the other. Of course you're gonna think, yeah, but the other has the breaches. Yeah, but no, really. Like, the high ground and the 2 choke points are just a little bit too much, especially with those rocks still not being broken by DRG. DRG didn't destroy a single block of rocks. I think he may destroyed one. Oh, ghosts sniping down stuff, but being killed as fast as their snipes go. DRG is maxed out again. Dream is once more really trying to hang on. Another attack, even used on Vikings. Every single victory counts for DRG right now, it looks like. He just wants to whittle Dream down slowly.
He slowly but surely is. I mean, the thing is that he's got to be careful because he doesn't have quite a bank. He is taking more bases, but just doesn't have the bank right now to just throw away units inefficiently. And so he's got to wait and kind of mine his bases, kind of mine enough so that he does have a big bank so he can remax if the battle goes strive or array. But here we go. Looks like Banelin's going to roll in. Nice blinding cloud here on the front. But some nice Banelin connections. Oh, but the goes on the
Banelin's connecting with basically everything. Like, right now he's way happy to take that base and just head off. Banelins were bound to die anyway, taking such great connections, leaving the tank count of Dream to 7. Like, it was at like 15 a while ago. That is it's significant. That is damage that can really snowball very fast, especially considering how many bases DRG has, how fast he can actually remax his army and strike again. It seems like he found the that winning moment. It feels like DRG is finally seizing the series. Of course, this nuke can actually deal some damage. It looks like DRG is gonna find out just at the last second. Nuke is gonna go down. Oh, this Hydra is gonna be sniped by the ghost. But then again, like, DRG is maxed out again. Dream wasn't able to, like, increase his supply by more than 10.
Alright, looks like, yeah, DRG is slowly but surely kind of grasping the game here. Got his chokehold on Dream's neck. You just gotta make sure, you know, not to let Dream just, like, win a too huge engagement and then all of a sudden, like, it's anyone's game. But yes, you can see it. Slowly but surely, he's building up that bank. He's got 2.2k minerals, almost 1k gas. And, the game goes on.
DRG is also kind of taking every single base. Right now, Dream mostly has just 2 bases. Just the 2. And if DRG finds a way to break any of those 2, the game is absolutely over. DRG doesn't care about the bases, it looks like. He's just gonna break through the main wall. Just going into the natural, abducting stuff left and right with his Vipers. Doesn't really care about anything else. DRG breaking through brute force. And Lurkers are everything that stands between Dream and actually losing this game. Oh, these Lurkers really just being slightly out of range of the ghost. In the end, there's still a bunch of Banelings ready to get connections on top of these pesky invisible units. Not gonna find those. Tanks are gonna help with that. But DRG is so quick to replace his lost army. Dream is definitely not so quick. 5 tanks, a bunch of ghosts, keeping it into this game. But it looks like DRG has shifted his attention to the last great mining base of Dream. Losing this base means losing the game most likely. Workers set to 21. And the income of Dream right now is absolutely non-existent. GG gets gold, DRG is at match point. And my, this game was quite the sight.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to describe it. You almost felt like a snake playing with his prey throughout the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
It was kind of brutal.
28-minute game, my goodness.
And in like 15 minutes of this game is just straight up DRG winning. Like, it is brutal. It is a brutal game.
Yeah,
One of those games in which Dream was feeling like he could do it, but just not quite.
Yeah, but gotta give it up for Dream for hanging on for so long. I mean, it looked like he was like dead for quite some time, but it was just so persistent. And just, you know, expanding that and stretching that game to 28 minutes when it should have ended like a couple of minutes ago, like 20 minutes or so.
Yeah. It's also an exhausting game for Dream. Really, it must be very exhausting just to try and stay in that game so long, just barely staying alive and then just losing anyway. It probably is one of the worst feeling in RTS.
Yeah.
So I have to admit that didn't feel good for Dream.
For sure. I mean, you spend so much energy and so much brain power and micro, and then all that just to lose, you know, that's never a great feeling.
No, absolutely. Anyway, he needs to reset his mindset because he needs to win 2 in a row right now. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Oxide is the red Terran player. From Brave Star Gaming, it is Dream.
And spawning here at the top right corner of the map, representing Afrika Freaks, 1 game away from clinching this series. Can he do it? It is DRG. DRG being a little bit extra safe, sending out that early drone, making sure that he's not getting proxies or anything, which I like.
Yeah, me too. I feel like it's a safe bet on Oxide to just try to be all around safe. Just trying not to leave anything to case.
Yeah, because this map is so huge that there's a lot of proxy areas, and just want to be safe than sorry.
Not really is huge. It's wide. Like rush distance is short, very short, but it's very wide.
Right.
Just like New Repugnancy was back in the days.
I'm so impressed that you remember all these maps. I'm like, I just
Yeah.
forget all these maps because there's been so much every ladder season.
It's kind of my thing. Like maps is probably like the thing I like the most about the game. I will go as far to say.
That's fair. I mean, the ever-changing maps are what really keeps the game fresh, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a really, a couple of balanced updates here and there, but I think what really kind of
Keeps
helps
the game fresh.
Yeah,
yes, is the
season
maps.
after season is the maps really.
Yeah, and that's just such a huge commitment from the community. Team Liquid 2, of course, with the Team Liquid map contest, which is such a great event through and through. And it's just probably one of the most beautiful and most underestimated part of this game we all love so much. And
Yeah, for sure.
should really give out much more to the map makers for really being this awesome and just doing so much great work for all of the community. Really, it's like their work is never really complimented enough. It's really thanks to the map makers that we have the game we have.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really get much credit, or at least like because if you ask anyone, like the majority of StarCraft players, who made this map, who made that map, who made this map, who made that map, like most of them will not really know who made the map, so it's kind of a thankless job, but quite necessary sometimes.
Probably the most important one around this game, really. At least as far as competitive esports go, of course. It's gonna be some kind of a shift in the playstyle for both these players, I feel like. It's some kind of very early concussive shell play from Dream.
Oh wow, that is interesting. It's gonna be a Hellbat Marauder push, which is very unique. You don't see this every day.
Yeah, and it's very aggressive as well. It's kind of committed. Like once you're in, you're in. It's very hard to get out.
And what really makes this push ideal is that you have the Hellbats to deal with the Lings, but then if the Zerg player does go for Roaches to deal with the Hellions and the Hellbats, the Marauders are there to kind of counter that too. So that's kind of the idea on paper, but
Spine Crawler. Oh, this is looking rough. Look at the concussive shells Marauder slowing down these oh my god, the Medivac falling down immediately. Queens are just gonna have such an easier time dealing with those units now, just slowly chipping through these units. Of course, a bunch of them are still gonna fall, but as long as the Elbats actually die, the Zerglings can easily clear everything else. And just look at the supply right now. Dream falling so behind, killing that Medivac so quickly, and surviving with 3 queens. Once again, it's the critical number. Hive, sorry, Lair going on. +1/+1, more queens, more drones. Just everything is in favor of DRG right now. And Dream has to play another from behind scenario.
yeah, which is not what he wants to be in. Baneling's Nest being thrown down. Right now, like, DRG can just drone up, get the tech running. He can also, tech to Mealist or even Hydralist if he wants to. And just spread those creep as much as possible.
feel like it's going to be more like a +2/+2 timing again. Just cause it's something fresh, hard to deal with. And probably it's a win more kind of build, really. So this is kind of what I'm expecting. The layer is done right now. A bunch of key upgrades are going to be started at the same time. Yeah, here comes +2/+2, Baneling speed. And yeah, it looks like Dream has to find some damage really quickly. Otherwise, DRG will just spiral out of control. Oh, that's a huge run by your Zerglings. That doesn't look like Dream can really easily mine from this third base anytime soon. A bunch of Widow Mines gonna be set up in different locations. Looks like Dream is kind of trying to be having that defensive stance once these lots of Zerglings and Banelings come through. But is it enough? Look at the Banelings, the Zerglings actually get on top of pretty much everything. Once again, Command Center forced to lift off. Widow Mines killed in pairs. And it looks like +2/+2 is halfway through for DRG, while Baneling speed, it's almost done.
Yeah, Widow Mine, attempted Widow Mine drop here by Dream at the 12 o'clock base, but those queens there will gonna scare the medevac away, but looks like DRG going aggressive here, making some more Banelings. Baneling speed is done. It's gonna come down to the split of Dream.
That's so many Widow Mines though. It's 11 of them. And oh, look at this. Look at this beautiful spread from Dream, saving those units with the medevac. But is it enough? It looks like DRG just wants to brute force past everything else. It doesn't even have +2/+2 yet. It's just getting this without +2/+2. 19, 20 kills without having the key upgrade of this build.
That, I gotta say, might have done it. It's gonna be a tough hole for Dream to come out of. He doesn't even have, well, I guess he does have 1/1 upgrades about to finish, but 2/2 is about to finish for the Zerg as well at the same time. So, I mean, DRG is going to have a much, more army, much better quality army. And oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
I'm going to zoom in for that beautiful Baneling eggs there. Oh,
that's a
my
Baneling carpet. If I ever saw one. Like, that's a lot of Baneling.
That's Terran's worst nightmare there.
That's everyone's worst nightmare.
That's true, that's true.
Oh, these Widow Mine shots need to be perfect, and they just are not. Banelings just coming in small numbers, getting enough good connections to let everything else roll through. It's time for the rest of the party to start. And it's just so much green explosions left and right, getting everything down. DRG breaking through and getting the champion title for today's Super Series. 4-2 victory over Dream, a very suffered victory, but the last two games were absolutely brutal.